Hey, good morning, everybody. Happy Monday. So, when you take the time to recognize team members personally, you make them feel very special. And that's what we're talking about today on the Monday Minute Team Building Tip. I'm Gale Bates, CEO of MyMentorBiz.com, and I help leaders grow million-dollar teams. We work together on systems and strategies to help them scale and grow their business. So I hope you're having a great Monday. We have been going through a special 5-week series on recognizing and rewarding team members. It is so important for you as a leader to know how to recognize your team members. So the first week, we talked about how to recognize team members. And you can actually go back and watch each one of these series on my YouTube channel, okay? So the how to recognize them was a very special video that you want to watch because it's about making them feel great. It's about how you share with what they were, what they did, what their success was, and how you make them feel really special doing that. The second series, we talked a little bit about what to recognize. And so I shared with you the top ways to recognize your team with ways that are your top bookers, your top sellers, your top recruiters, and other things that are really important that you should be recognizing as a leader for your team. The third week, we talked about, I really went into how to recognize your team each week. So what to recognize in the first week, the second week, the third week, the fourth week, the importance of recognizing them each week. Hey, if you're around, just say hi. I'd love to say hi to you today. And then the fourth video in this series, I talked about recognizing people every day. And that was really how to have an impact on your team because it was like that immediate recognition. And I called it Catching a Woman's Success. And it's a campaign that you want to make sure you're working as a leader with your team to help them do that. So today we're talking about personal recognition. So there are two ways that you can personally recognize your team members and to really make them feel great. Hey, Stacy, glad you're here today. And so the first way is writing a handwritten personal note. You know, a handwritten personal note is such a treasured thing today. When people receive a handwritten note from you that says, I appreciate your efforts as part of our team. Thank you for contributing to our team, or just sending them great success on your last party. A handwritten note can make such a difference, okay, in making that person feel special. And when you make someone feel special on your team, you has that warm, fuzzy feeling that they love to belong to your team, right? So that's the first way to do what I call special personal recognition. Now, the second way is kind of interesting. It's personally recognizing them in front of their peers. Now, you either do that, usually you do that at a team meeting, but one of the best ways to do it is at conference. And that's my conference tip I'm kind of adding on today here for you. Because what I imagine this, you know, when I was at my conference in leading my $1 million team, I always used to rent a suite because I had a large group of people that were there. And I always had a special get together in my room, in my suite with all of my team members where we'd have champagne and we'd be celebrating. So imagine this, you're in this room and I have a room full of 20, 30, how many women I had at the time in my group. And what I would do is I would ask each one of them to come up to the front in front of everyone else. And I had a special word for each member of that group that were there. When I recognized them for their efforts with one special word that really talked about them, it really grew so much goodwill, so much happiness, so much team building with our team. It was amazing. So imagine this. I have some special words that you might want to think about for your team members. So like if I would say, okay, Susie, I'd love you to come up. Your word is resilient. I have seen you go through not making it to where you wanted to go, but toughing it out, being very resilient and keeping on that road and hitting that success. So I am so proud of you for being so resilient in your business. The second one might be somebody, Cindy, you are such a team player. You are always there to help everybody else. And with that, helping other members, being part of that group, part of our group as a team player, you stand out as part of our group. And they love that. Another person might say, hey, Mary Claire, glad you're here today. Another person, you might say, Jill, you're the wisdom. Your word is wisdom or wise words, because every time you share something with us, people listen because you are sharing such wisdom and such wise words where you're coming from, and it really adds to our team. Another one might be implement. Another word that you might want to say is, Karen, I see you each time I mention something, you decide that you will definitely take that idea and you begin immediately to implement it, and you get such great success from that. Or I might say, Allison, you're leading you're doing such a great job with your business. You are so fervent and passionate about your business. It's what's taking you to the next step. Or I might say, Stacy, you're committed. I see that you are totally committed to your business. Nothing gets in your way, and that's what's really helping you get to where you want to go. So these are special words of recognition that you can actually share with your team members. When I would share this at conference in my suite, and we're all sipping champagne, and I'm sharing these wonderful words about every person that's sitting in that room, they can't wait to come up to hear what word I have to share about them that's contributing to the success of our $1 million team. So I want you to try that. You can even try it at a team meeting, okay, even with 5 people on your team, because it will begin to grow that wonderful aura of having of people wanting to belong and loving to belong to your team. So that is my 5-week series on team recognition. I hope that you have enjoyed watching this, because it is so important. When you recognize effort and achievement often, it affirms why team members just love being part of your team. And that old saying of what you recognize will be repeated is how you are going to grow a very strong and successful. It's how I grew my very strong and successful $1 million team. So if you're looking for the 10 top recognition tips, if you're watching this now, you can go to my YouTube channel. I have that as a download. Or if you're watching this after the fact, you can also go to my YouTube channel and download that as well. So that's my Monday Minute Team Building tip, everyone. Thanks so much. Hey, John, glad you're here today. Thanks so much for all being on today. Have a wonderful day. Aloha.